Before you click away, I want you to hear something that could completely change the way you see yourself. For years, you may have been misunderstanding the signals women were giving you, not because you're unaware or unintelligent, but because nobody ever explained how attraction is often communicated. That misunderstanding may have caused you to overlook opportunities, connections, and moments that mattered far more than you realized. Welcome back, and today we're going to explore 8 powerful signs that reveal when a man is more attractive than he thinks. By the end of this discussion, you'll understand why some of the most desirable men are often the last to recognize their own appeal. Let me ask you something. Have you ever left a conversation wondering whether a woman was interested? Have you ever questioned your own attractiveness because nobody made their feelings obvious? If so, you're not alone. Many men underestimate themselves because they expect attraction to be direct and unmistakable. But attraction rarely works that way. Women often communicate interest through awareness, observation, and subtle signals long before words are ever involved. One of the biggest differences between men and women when it comes to attraction is how interest is expressed. Many men experience attraction as a direct urge to move closer, start a conversation, or make their intentions known. Women, however, often approach attraction differently. Before acting, they tend to observe. They pay attention to your behavior, your confidence, and the way you carry yourself around others. This is where many men become confused. They're waiting for a clear signal, a bold move, or an unmistakable invitation. Meanwhile, a woman may already be communicating interest through much quieter actions. She notices you before you notice her. She becomes aware of your presence. She positions herself where interaction becomes possible. She creates opportunities rather than declarations. That's why understanding attraction requires awareness rather than assumption. Throughout this discussion, I want you to honestly reflect on your own experiences, not through insecurity or ego, but through curiosity. You may discover that you've been receiving positive signals for years without realizing it. Once that awareness develops, the way you interpret social interactions can change dramatically. The first sign is one of the most common indicators of attraction, yet it's also one of the most frequently overlooked. It happens in ordinary places every day. Maybe you're at a cafe, a social gathering, the gym, or even running errands. Your eyes meet hers for a brief moment. But instead of immediately looking away, she holds your gaze slightly longer than expected. That extra second may seem insignificant, but it often carries far more meaning than most men realize. Eye contact creates connection. It communicates awareness, curiosity, and emotional engagement without a single word being spoken. What's even more revealing is what happens next. Often she looks away, then returns her gaze a second time. That follow-up glance is rarely accidental. It's usually a sign that her attention has been drawn toward you. Think about your own behavior. When something genuinely interests you, you naturally look again. The same principle applies here. The key isn't to stare or force the moment. Instead, respond calmly, hold eye contact naturally, offer a relaxed smile, and remain present. Sometimes attraction begins with nothing more than 2 people quietly noticing each other. The second sign is something many men dismiss as coincidence, when it often isn't. It involves proximity. Have you ever noticed a woman repeatedly appearing near you in social situations? Maybe she chooses the seat beside you, joins a conversation circle you're already part of, or positions herself where interaction can happen naturally. At first glance, these moments seem random, but attraction often works through opportunity rather than direct pursuit. Instead of making bold declarations, many women create situations where connection can develop organically. They place themselves within your awareness and make interaction easier. Psychologists have long studied the relationship between physical proximity and human connection. The more time people spend near someone they enjoy, the stronger familiarity and comfort tend to become. That's why attraction frequently reveals itself through repeated presence. A man once told me he believed he was completely unnoticed by women, yet the same woman chose a nearby seat every week at a local gathering. He assumed it meant nothing. Only later did he realize she had been creating opportunities for connection all along. Awareness changed everything. Once he noticed, he began responding with confidence instead of doubt. The third sign has less to do with appearance and more to do with presence. Have you ever noticed that when you begin speaking, people seem to focus more closely? Conversations slow down, heads turn in your direction, and others genuinely listen to what you have to say. If so, you may possess a quality that is far more attractive than many men realize. Presence is not about being the loudest person in the room. In fact, it often works the opposite way. The men who command the most attention are usually those who speak with calm confidence rather than constant volume. They don't fight to be heard. Their energy naturally draws people in. Psychologists often refer to this as a form of perceived value. When people view someone as confident, capable, or trustworthy, they instinctively pay closer attention to them. This effect becomes even stronger with maturity. While youthful energy can attract notice, grounded confidence creates lasting impact. One simple way to strengthen this quality is to slow down, speak deliberately, pause before responding, and allow your words room to land. Quiet confidence often carries more influence than force ever could. The fourth sign is subtle enough that most people never notice it, yet it can reveal a surprising amount about attraction. It's called mirroring. This happens when a woman unconsciously begins reflecting your body language, mannerisms, or communication style during an interaction. For example, you lean back in your chair and a few moments later, she does the same. You slow down your speech and she naturally matches your pace. You smile and her expression softens in response. These behaviors are rarely intentional. They occur because people instinctively synchronize with those they feel comfortable around. Scientists have linked this behavior to the brain's natural tendency to build rapport. When someone feels connected, safe, and engaged, their body often begins matching the rhythms of the other person. It's a quiet form of connection that happens beneath conscious awareness. What's important to understand is that mirroring is not imitation. It's a sign of emotional alignment. When you notice someone naturally matching your energy, posture, or conversational flow, it may indicate that they feel comfortable in your presence. And comfort is often one of the earliest foundations of genuine attraction. The fifth sign surprises many men because it doesn't sound romantic at first. In fact, it often sounds like a simple compliment. But when you look closer, it's one of the strongest indicators of genuine attraction. There's a big difference between a woman complimenting your appearance and complimenting your presence. Saying you look nice is pleasant, but comments such as, "I enjoy talking with you," "You have a calming energy," or "I feel comfortable around you," carry much deeper meaning. Those statements are not about what you look like, they're about how she experiences being around you. Research consistently shows that emotional comfort plays a major role in attraction. When a woman feels relaxed, understood, and safe in someone's presence, a stronger connection often begins to develop. These feelings create the foundation for deeper interest. Many men dismiss these compliments because they don't sound dramatic. They assume the woman is simply being kind. But when someone repeatedly comments on your character, your energy, or the way you make them feel, pay attention. Attraction often reveals itself through emotional appreciation long before it becomes obvious in any other way. The final three signs operate on a deeper level because they reveal how people respond to your overall presence rather than a single interaction. First, you may notice repeated glances from across a room. People naturally pay attention to individuals who stand out through confidence, composure, and self-assurance. If you consistently catch someone looking your way more than once, it may be a sign that you've captured their interest. The seventh sign involves how other men respond to you. Respect, attentiveness, and seeking your opinion often indicate that others view you as someone of value. Interestingly, women notice these social dynamics more than many men realize. Quiet respect from others can communicate confidence without a word being spoken. The eighth sign is when women assume you already have options. They make comments suggesting you must be popular or successful in relationships. This usually happens when you carry yourself with patience and confidence rather than desperation. And that brings us to the most important lesson. Attraction is not something you chase endlessly. It is something you learn to recognize and embody. When you stop asking, "Do they like me?" and start asking, "Is this connection right for me?" everything changes. Confidence becomes natural, interactions feel easier, and relationships begin from a place of genuine self-worth rather than uncertainty. Once you recognize your value, others are far more likely to recognize it too.